On July 29, 2022 at 11:35 p.m., officers were dispatched to 2727 Fairwood Avenue on a report of a shooting. We had two individuals shot at that location. One, a 16-year-old male, survived his injuries. Another, an 18-year-old adult female, was deceased. At this time, we believe that there was a party at that location, and that an altercation ensued, which escalated into an armed confrontation. We are looking for witnesses out of that. We know that there was approximately 100 people at that party. We are asking for the public to help. We are looking for video. We are looking for photos. We have identified some individuals that were at the party. We would like to talk to others. We know that there are individuals that are familiar with the subjects involved, and we are asking for their assistance to come forward. Approximately 3 hours after that shooting, officers were dispatched to 2680 Arano Pike on the Far East Side at 2:50 a.m. There was an individual shot at that location. He survived his injuries. He is a 20-year-old male. We believe that there are some people that witnessed that altercation as well, and we are asking for their assistance in helping to clear up the circumstances surrounding that shooting. Approximately 12 hours after that incident at 7235 Brook Boulevard, there was a shooting that did not result in a person being hit. A vehicle was struck. We believe that that person was also connected to the incident that stemmed from the shooting on Fairwood Avenue on Friday. So we are asking for individuals to help talk about that third incident and come forward from there. The next evening, on the 30th, Reynoldsburg Police responded to the 7200 block of Ravine Way for a discharge into a habitation where a house was shot up, nobody was struck. We also believe, along with Reynoldsburg Police, that that incident is connected to this shooting that happened on Fairwood. And then lastly, last night at 7:16 p.m., our officers responded to the 3700 block of Center Ridge Way for a discharge into habitation in which two individuals were struck. One, an adult male, 26 years old, and who survived his injuries, and a 2-month-old child who also, luckily, will survive their injuries. We also believe that this incident is connected to the series of shootings that began on Fairwood Avenue. We know that there are individuals who have knowledge of all these incidents. We are in the process of trying to identify them. We want to see this series of violence stop right now. We are concerned for the well-being of the individuals involved. And our detectives are tirelessly trying to identify and contact these individuals. We know that there's members of the public that have photos, that have videos, and have knowledge that our detectives need to solve these cases. So we are asking for their help. At this time, I'll answer any questions.
So is it like an organization or like an individual that you believe is involved in all of these?
We do not have any indication right now or any verification right now that this is tied to any kind of group or gang behavior.
What connects, how did you make the connection of all these shootings back to Fairwood?
Well, one, I think there's a time element here in terms of that, but also some of the individuals involved are individuals that, through the preliminary investigation into the homicide on Fairwood, that we've connected to being at that party.
So they've told you that as a result of the party, the other ones followed. Is that right?
If they haven't told us, I think we've received information. I guess that's the best way to put it.
Do you know any of the motive or what the beef is between these people?
I do not. No.
How dangerous is it for other people? I mean, you certainly look. We were just in the neighborhood where the little baby was shot. Yeah. People are scared over there because they just sprayed bullets.
Yeah. I don't want to minimize, that feeling. I think that there are ways that the city and the Division of Police can help to mitigate that. And in terms of protecting victims and witnesses, we do have the ability to help out in certain cases, and it's a case-by-case basis. But, let us, we would encourage people to come forward if they have information. And obviously we can discuss ways that we can, help mitigate the dangers associated with that.
So is it, is it one person that you believe is responsible for these, or is it like 2, 3 people? I mean, how many is it?
I don't believe it would be correct or right for me to comment on that at this time. I think that we have to keep an open mind and open eyes on as circumstances, dictate and what we hear from time to time from different people. We have to talk to as many people as we can to try to figure out what's going on. But we do believe that there's connection.
Consider a reward to try to prompt people to come forward, and why not? Why no rewards?
Well, I think that, Crime Stoppers, Central Ohio Crime Stoppers has the ability to provide that for information leading to information that leads us to solve shootings or felony crimes. So that's already in place.
All this stemming from, the event on Fairwood is, these guys have said you talk with other people. Is there any other evidence you can let us know, like to help people come forward or something like that?
In terms of,
How can they, reach you, contact you, and let you know what's
so
going on?
obviously, our homicide number is 614-645-4730. Our investigative desk is 614-645-4624. Obviously, they can call Crime Stoppers, and we have all kinds of ways to reach out.
Specific you're looking for, that people put like photos,
We are. We have recovered. There were some cell phones left at the scene, but we believe that obviously the way cell phones are used nowadays, we believe there were up to 100 young people, teens, young adults at this party. We believe there's video and picture evidence from the party. We are asking for the public's help in coming forward for that.
Any kind of surveillance or anything from the incident yesterday evening, any neighborhood surveillance video, anything like that?
Our officers and the detectives canvassed the area, and they're working through that.
You said these all stem from the one incident on Fairwood. Now, are each individual shooting, and you may have touched on this, but are each individual shooting retaliatory from each other shooting?
That is an option we're considering. However, like I said, we don't know all of the facts and the circumstances yet. We do feel comfortable saying that this series of incidents are related and seem to stem from the incident on Fairwood. Whether there was an incident that occurred prior to Fairwood that, I think, like Luann said, kind of started the feud or the beef, we're not aware of that at this time. But we are asking for that information, because I think that will help shed light on the entirety of the circumstances.
There could have been multiple homicides out of these continuous shootings. What is your sense of what's happening in our community with gun violence?
Like I said, I think we were at 130 homicides last year, year to date. Obviously, today we're at 82. So there has been progress made, right? So I don't want to paint a bleak picture over the entirety of the circumstances, but I think it's fair to say that, we struggle as a society with gun violence, and particularly in terms of youthful offenders and youthful victims. We've seen an uptick in that this year. And so I think, it's that respect for human life and the value of human life. But that's big picture issues. The task at hand today is what we're trying to do is, we're trying to get information to solve crime and bring justice to the families of the victims.
Any idea of whether these guns that were used are the same guns or similar weapons?
So everything, in terms of forensic evidence and everything like that, we are working as fast as we can, and our lab people are working as fast as we can to rush all that stuff to try to draw those connections.
By your count, how many then shootings can be connected here? I didn't count them up. Have you made that count?
It would be 5 since Friday.
So 5 since Friday. And out of that, the homicides, was there 1 homicide, 4 shootings?
Yes, ma'am.
Do you have the numbers of how many shootings there have been so far to date this year?
I do not. Like I said, I think we're at 130 homicides year to date last year at this time, 82 homicides year to date for this year.
We'd like to get those numbers on the shootings, please, when you have time.
Yes, ma'am.
If the shooters are watching this press conference today, and you could look in that camera and talk to them directly, what would you tell them?
Put the guns down. Come talk to us about the incidents. None of this is worth a life, and it's already cost us, 1 life. We had a 2-month-old child shot last night. I don't know how anybody can feel that any feud or any any kind of disagreement is worth that.
I'm thinking about these multiple shootings that we've had. In the instance yesterday, again, it looked like somebody just sprayed bullets into that apartment and hit an innocent person, at least one, maybe the other one too, I don't know. But, it seems like people are doing this with no regard to how many people or what they shoot. Can you comment on that?
Well, bullets don't have a name on them. And so when we do get these shootings, often they hit unintended targets. And so there is no accounting for that.
Was the 2-month-old, can you tell us, were they just in the living room or in bed? Were they, do you know?
Is it a girl? Is it 2-month-old?
I'm not positive. Yes.
In belly region, I think.
I'm not going to comment on
Okay.
where exactly.
So again, just appealing to the community, what can people do, even if you don't know about that party, but is there any call to action for neighborhoods? I know talking to a lot of the people out in the neighborhood today, they don't even know their neighbors. Should they try to gather and learn about their neighbors, or is it better to stay to themselves?
I think that's up to each individual. I don't know if that's necessarily a police issue as much of a society issue. I mean, neighborhoods that care about each other, neighborhoods that know each other, work with the police, and it tend to be safer neighborhoods.
Okay, that's good. Thank you.